One of the coolest bikes I've ever reviewed is the Aniioki A8 Pro Max. The claim to fame with this bike is its absolutely ginormous 52 volt 60 amp hour battery, along with its dual motor configuration, making this thing just an absolute unit of an e-bike. But Aniioki did just go ahead and update this bike to make it even more ludicrous. So they took the already pretty ridiculous battery and they both upped the voltage and the amp hour capacity. So the model I had was 52 volts, 60 amp hours. And the new one is 60 volts, either 70 amp hours or 60 volts, 80 amp hours. And if you multiply those two numbers together, you get the total watt-hour energy capacity, which I think is like around 4,000 now. Now, I have noticed lots of bikes upping their voltage lately. This is a trend that I'm a huge fan of. However, 80 amp hours of capacity at that voltage certainly is not standard, at least not yet. And even aside from just the raw battery capacity, the other standout feature with this bike that's preserved with this update is the dual motor configuration.
If you want, toggle that middle button between them two motors and feel the difference. And yeah, let us know what you think.
Yeah, so let me see. Okay, so now I'm on rear only. Oh, night and day. Absolute night and day.
And to put it simply, in my opinion, if you don't have a mid-drive configuration, dual hub motors is the way to go. It's the only way to come close to a bike like this in terms of power, acceleration, and even top speed.
And I also thought just the combination of a huge battery and two motors just made a lot of sense and worked really well on this bike. And it made it really fantastic for commuting. I know these bikes are super popular with Uber Eats and food delivery because they can go essentially all day long. But even in other applications like off-roading, where I tested my review unit, because it's all-wheel drive, the bike also did really well in that scenario. I guess what I'm trying to say is, overall, the bike was just super versatile and capable with its dual motor setup, huge battery, full suspension, and a long list of other really nice features. And when it comes to these secondary features, this is another area that the Aniioki bike, both the model I had and especially this new model, really excels. For example, this bike had absolutely massive disc rotors. I believe it was like in the range of 300 millimeters. So essentially double the size that you usually see on most regular e-bikes. And they also included really nice tires straight out of the box. That's kind of a pet peeve of mine, how most e-bikes come with like the absolute cheapest, thinnest tires. But here they opted to give you actual quality tires that are going to last a lot longer, are more puncture resistant, and give you better traction. And one of my other favorite features about this bike was the motorcycle-inspired seat. I find these seats to be way more comfortable than traditional bike saddles, especially for longer riding sessions, which is what this bike is all about. And it appears that Aniioki agrees, and they included a seat that's much more motorcycle-inspired, more comfortable, while still being height adjustable. And on this new model, they preserved many of these unique features while delivering some further upgrades. So for example, the front disc rotor here is still absolutely massive, but now they just straight up added a second one. So this thing has dual 300 millimeter front disc rotors. Now you could make the argument that this is simply a safety feature, because with the new higher voltage battery, the motors are each running at an upgraded 2200 watts now. So we have a faster top speed, and given just the raw capacity of the battery, the bike's also on the heavier side. So you need a lot of stopping power, and this bike certainly delivers that now. But overall, I was a big fan of the original version of this bike I reviewed a couple months ago. Compared to the bike I'm on right now, the range between the two wasn't even comparable. The Aniioki was like twice as long as this bike. And due to the dual motor configuration, the performance, the acceleration, the off-road capabilities were surprisingly adequate. And then the other features like the quality tires, the comfortable seat, are things that I just really appreciated about this bike and found pretty unique. But definitely let us know your opinion on this bike in the comments below. If you guys enjoyed, I appreciate a like, subscribing to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.